Manipulation, Structure and Technique, from the theory Transhumanism. If we want to stop being manipulated and manipulate, we will have to take a closer look what manipulation really is. Manipulated people will manipulate because they are not aware that they are manipulated. Oh no, I'm not manipulated and I don't manipulate. But when we ask the question, how do you recognize manipulation? What is the structure of manipulation? They answer, you are manipulating. But still no clue what manipulation is all about. And then people find other excuses or insult to avoid the subject. Everything in the system has its own systematic construct, pattern, structure, purpose and end goal. And there is definitely a way to recognize manipulation and also recognize that the manipulation is in fact not the real issue, but in fact the result of the manipulation. So the question we're going to talk about in this video are what does manipulation mean? What is the opposite of something manipulated? How to recognize something not manipulated? When is something considered manipulated? The manipulation techniques, what people think who are the manipulators, and who they really are. So let's go into it and maybe watch straight up a little bit the etymology of the word manipulation by 7030, a method of digging ore. From French manipulation, from manipuler, handful. Pharmacist measure, from Latin manipulus, handful, sheaf, bundle, from manus, hand, to fill, sense of skillful handling of objects is stated by 1826, extended by 1828 to handling or managing of persons, especially to one's own advantage. And further on, to handle is skillful by hand, a back formation from manipulation as to manage by mental influence, especially for the one's own purpose by 1864. Financial sense is from 1870. By 1949, it's asserted as euphemism for masturbate. Okay. So if we look a little bit closer to it, or if we take it to part, everything that is man-made is manipulated. Man or mani, the hand. Man from human hand. So if everything human does is manipulated good, or is it bad? We will come to that. It always depends for who profits from it. But the question, what is the opposite of something manipulated? It is original. That's the opposite of manipulated. If something is in a state of how life has made it, then it's original. But the thing, or the problem, the issue of manipulation, it is conditioned from the original state. It will not be able to return to the original, and that's why it is conditioned. Or it will remain in a condition, maybe it will go back out, like if we take cut a tree, we make a bench, put it in the house, it will stay conditioned until we put it out again, and then it can go back to nature if we didn't paint it with a lot of things. Just to comprehend a little bit more the concept. So in fact, is manipulation always bad or always good, or is it just okay? That's the whole purpose, yeah? If it creates more life, then the original is not destroyed. But when something is destroyed, then of course it does no more life come out of it. So it depends the intention, it depends the result, and if the result is conditioned or still unconditional, original, or if it can return to the original. It's like if we plant one tree, then the whole life around the tree can grow again. But if we plant thousands of the same tree side by side, there we will condition the life again. So it depends the purpose of the intention and the result. Like if you put a stone in a creek, will it condition the creek for a certain while, and then the stone get away and the creek is same again? So the manipulation is gone, there is no condition, and it turns back to the original. But of course, if our purpose is just to masturbate for our own ego, then the result will not be life, but the result is for oneself. We do things only for our own purpose without thinking of the whole and not about the original, and this therefore the original or life will get less. Another example, like if we take an apple, we have the original and we cut it, we are manipulating, but to eat. And if we eat an apple or a fruit, then we provide life to ourselves. And we are part of life, therefore it is more life. So it is not conditioned. There is no process of any conditioning to eating an apple because it goes back to life. Another example in the nature, they can't be manipulated because it's man and hand. Yeah, so of course they are not manipulated. So the question is, of course, the condition. Yeah, because if they kill and eat, is it conditioned? No, they provide life for themselves. And by the way, they don't just kill anything. They always look for the ill ones and they preserve life this way. People don't get it. And that's like the wolf. Why does the wolf just kill sheep without really eating them? It's because they have nothing to do there. That's his purpose, to maintain the health of the environment. So there is no condition in this way. People don't like when we say that, they say, yeah, the bad tiger, we are on earth, it is a bad place, and so on. This is fully Gnostic thinking about how things in life really go. So if we talk about a dog is manipulated. He does not come out of nature how it is. He is put together with species they would not breed in nature, and therefore we have all this. Cats too. They are conditioned. And we also have to accept that they have to live in a condition if they want to live with us. This is for a dog. You can't treat a dog like a kid. this is not possible because the dog will eat you up. If he don't he is not in the same functioning, if we want, as we. So the dog have to be conditioned, or the cat have to be conditioned to live with us. But they can no longer live just in the nature by themselves. That's the same for the cows, for the pigs, for the sheep, goats. There are still some wild horses. The wild horses, some are still around, and of course we have also close animals to these ones, but still even the horses get completely bred, and they are conditioned as the food is, and everything what man conditioned to his advantage will be conditioned and therefore manipulated. And here the same, here we can clearly see is a part that is still original, and here we have the conditioned manipulation, the destruction, and this is how we clearly can see that the manipulation is destructive and not for life. And by the way, another manipulation that WWF was using, they used the same picture here and just cut it between and say this is 2009, this is 2019. And another scam, how they use the whole climate stuff and use this kind of fake pictures. So the question is, where are we coming from? Who is still original, to inspire ourselves to have a original lifestyle? And there we come to a huge issue, because all the stories that are told from the past are just stories. We have no way to verify, not even to experience their lifestyle. And that's the same for all ancient tribes and so on. How deeply they are really conditioned, we have no idea. So if they have kind of rituals and gods and so on, we can definitely say that they are no longer originals. They even call them aboriginal. Even if they are way more original than everybody else, that's for sure, or they live a lifestyle way more to the original than we all. But still, we have no clue how much influence they really became, and how fast it goes is in this movie that calls The God Must Be Crazy, with just like a cola bottle. It is show how you can divide a tribe, because there is something that just one person have, and so on. You have the whole ego thing that is going on. And of course, the other example that we gave about the first encounter with the white man, and then they give them knives, matches to make magic fire, quick magic fire, and rice and knives. So they have already this kind of things, and you could already see how simple they proposed it, and how the people just took it without even knowing that behind fire matches you have a whole industry. You need war, you need politician, you need corruption, and so on. You don't tell these people, when you give them like this kind of super magic stuff, you don't tell them. So they want it more, and if to get that, they have to come back to the system and so on. So the influence even for the tribes is sick. Of course it is sick, and yes, there is manipulation everywhere. But it is a destruction, and it doesn't give any more life. So definitely we can talk about conditioning, even for the tribes, even for the ones we say that they never had touch with the people. They can, in one way or another, get already influenced. And then, of course, you can say, yeah, but if manipulation is okay, then we also can just live in a city. But the intention of living in a city is not more life, but it is less life. So garbage and conditioning. And then we can also say, yeah, but then let's just plant everywhere a lot of trees. And as I said before, we have this kind of forest. This kind of forest will not go back to the original. And the only way, again, as we have said, that this will just destroy, because it is monoculture, and monoculture will always destroy life and not provide more life. This is the mindset of the industry, to think that we just can grow everything on one place and then another thing on another place and so on, and organize it and blah, blah. This doesn't work. But still, if people have the intention to do it, they definitely can plant. If they plant different trees, so the life can take over and go back to the original. And finally, even the trees that doesn't belong there, they will just go down, and other life will come back. But as long as we have dirty soil, dry soil, and no shadow, of course, nothing will grow. And then you have only cactus and everything that is spiky. But we have not only that is one example that is turning on internet, but we have another example in Portugal, who someone is working since 10 years on a place to transform this kind of dry land into oasis. Yeah, we can see this is the same spot from here. This, from looking down here, is the same spot where we're looking now down there. So it is full of a lot of plants, and this is 20 years, in 20 years also, from this picture to here. And of course, this is 10 years is not that long, but you can grow things and you have a lot of green around. Of course, it's not the same season. They will dry out also in the summer. But just to say, there was nothing, and now there is all this kind of plants. So everyone can do it with intention to not condition. And this is, of course, this turns back to original, even if the exotic plants maybe don't longer grow and other stuff will take over. But at least life can take and produce more life there. So then we, of course, come to the whole mental manipulation and finally conditioning, and how to think for oneself. A question we never should ask anyone, but start to question why we don't think, and when we don't think for ourselves, to start think original thoughts again. And a lot of people say, oh, this is impossible, you can't think your own thought. But again, this is another subject we will make in another video, that the brain does not think. And we made another video about the hard thinking, and we also agree that is also not the way, and therefore we need a correction about this video. And this also will come, that the brain doesn't think. But therefore the question is how not to get conditioned. So if the brain doesn't think, what is really going on? And something that people maybe hear sometimes is about the consciousness, and there is the unconsciousness, and there is the subconsciousness. So there's a lot of confusion in this matter, and we go a little bit deeper into to just realize what is really going on with all this thing. So the consciousness, we could say this is the knowledge from experience, not belief making, using logic, sense, facts. This is what consciousness can do. Unconsciousness on the other side is blind trust, beliefs, convictions, doubts, opinions, emotions, ego, and trauma, of course. This is all unconscious. We don't really know when it happens, how it happens, why it takes over, and so on. And then we have the subconsciousness. A lot of people, they say, yeah, the energy comes from above and so on, but it is subconsciousness. It means it comes from under. And what would be under would be more like the belly, right? And the belly would also be the place where we had where we was connected with our mother and so on, where the whole energy is coming from. But it doesn't mean it need to be an organ. It is just, it's come under. So it would be gut feeling, or what people call intuition, feelings, or what we also call the what memory. This is really where the true stuff would come from. A lot of people mystify this whole shit. So that's why, and now also what is really going on is the only way to manipulate, or the only place to manipulate, is the unconsciousness. You can't manipulate the subconsciousness, or others cannot manipulate the subconsciousness and not the consciousness. What you are conscious can't not be manipulated. But the thing is that the unconsciousness can infiltrate the consciousness or the subconsciousness. And then you have blind trust in knowledge, blind trust in gut feeling, beliefs in experience, convictions in logic, doubts in sense. And you can combine this as you want. Yeah. As soon as this stuff infiltrates this and this, then you are completely confused. You don't longer know if you are conscious about something, or if it is just a mystery thing. That a lot of people, this subconsciousness and so on, what they really, what they feel for real, or call it God, or whatever. And that's the issue, because if you have like if your gut feeling is traumatized, or your feeling is ego-driven, then it becomes emotion. And if you have blind trust in water memory, then somebody say, yeah, this is water memory, and just believe it, because you don't have no more the logic sense to use in all of this. And so that is what we have to get aware of, that all this blind trust, belief making, conviction, all the doubts we have, the opinions, the emotions and ego, there is where also where they are triggering always this whole stuff. If somebody is manipulating, they will use the whole unconsciousness to suck yourself in, and then your consciousness becomes doubt, and then becomes unconscious because you just blur it yourself out. So this is a little bit to maybe to clarify a little bit how this really functions, and we will go deeper why the brain doesn't think, but this is more for the one who really think that the thoughts just happen here. But again, think about subconsciousness, yeah, and verify them with consciousness, so they are not falling into unconsciousness. And everything what is in the unconsciousness is we have to fear to look into this stuff. So because as soon as we become conscious of this unconscious making, then it is no longer unconscious. But we can push it back in just unconscious and just ignore it. Well, you always find a justification or an excuse to not make it. But again, is in the intention, it is the will and the result of our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. That's where the things really take matter, and then you know if it's manipulated, conditioned, or if it's away. And again, we have to get aware about unconsciousness, and we can detect when unconsciousness is triggering in, and then take a step back and look how the things really work, or how the things really are, and replace it with life. So there are many ways of conditioning, education, explanation. If we explain something, we don't give the possibility to make the experience. If we have suggestions, then we just give something hidden. We come into that more. And also the whole information. Many times you say in information is formation, and then you just form the thoughts unconsciously again, and you think, you believe to know, you believe to know, as we say before. And then the whole hearing saying, just blind trust in people who tell stories, and the whole indoctrination, the repetition and so on. And also the charm, the whole magic, the whole fantasy stuff that is fascinating. And then, as we talked about the hypnosis in the last video, MK Ultra, like the mention controller of CIA, that goes very far into a lot of different stuff, like even the TV is a result of the MK Ultra. And of course, the whole trauma-based mind control, that the people are just pushing on the traumas again, fear-based, fear. And so the people remain within the hypnosis. And then, of course, from TV, books, games, music, videos, movies, and so on. So you have a huge source of manipulation that are able to condition completely everything, what we think, what we feel, what we say, and what we do. So we have this kind of, or a list of a common manipulation techniques. Of course, one is, as said, the repetition. And this is the repetition what we have to do since child to learn the ABC 1, 2, 3. Until the whole grammar is just like a copy thing, right? It is not. We can't get creative into grammar. People will just get completely mad. And this is the same what they are proposing on the TV, of course, or in the media in general.
Some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to.
So, and the next one is guilt tripping. Make someone feel responsible or guilty for their action or decisions. We all know that there's a lot of guilt tripping. Further on, gaslighting. Manipulating someone's perception of reality to make them doubt of their own sanity or memory. So push them, and again, doubts are very dangerous, because if you have a doubt, verify until there is no doubt left. Because if we remain in doubt, there is the possibility of manipulation and conditioning really not far. Further on, emotional blackmail. Using emotions such as guilt or fear to manipulate someone into doing what you want. Yeah, this can be in relationship, that can be between the boss or between parents and kids, that can be between friends, that can we can find that also everywhere. The love bombing, overwhelming someone with excessive affection and attention to gain control over them. And again, a lot of people don't do this on purpose to gain control over them, because they just love their kids or their partners so much that they just have to overwhelm without realizing what kind of control really they're gaining. On the other side, the law of withdrawal is a manipulation technique where the manipulators withhold love, affection, or attention as a way to control the victim. Yeah, and that's again, this is sometimes people are just like in their complete ego-driven way to do things, but they don't realize what they are really doing around, and also the ones who are in doubt about what is going on will feel themselves also completely lost, of course. And then the next, I'm sure many of us know this silent treatment, ignoring or refusing to communicate with someone as a form of punishment or control. Well, we had that maybe with the sisters and so on. But if parents do that, or people we trust or love, this is so aggressive. Yeah, and this is all kind of little kind of control and manipulation that even if it's not in the intention to manipulate, the result it is the result that counts. Of course, isolation, cutting off someone from their support system to make them more dependent on the manipulators, and this can go from go into your room until be locked up in prison or kidnapped and be and so on. Isolation is happening today even in the cities with people who just want to live their life and are so no supportive from the surrounding that they just completely isolate themselves, of course. Yeah. And then, of course, deception, lying or withholding information to manipulate someone's belief or actions. Yeah, showing just the bright side, just the good face without showing. You see that with all the selfies and so on, that the people start to really deceive themselves and many other people around. Then the image magic, fascination and conditioning through image influence. This we will also make a whole own video. But this is also important to realize that only through image we can manipulate in this way. This is, of course, optical illusion. You think that the circles are interjoining or is like a spiral, but in fact they are just, here's one circle, here's one circle, here's one circle, and here's one circle. So it's, but you think the stuff is interconnected, and only by, of course, this is something that is on purpose to fool people. But there's a lot of other image where people think that is real stuff. So we will make a whole video about that. That will be quite fun. We go see. Suggestion. Indirect, invisible inculcation and indoctrination, or whitewashing, absurdity and perversion. And again, a lot of people, they don't realize what is really going on, and they just play the game, and they don't realize how much suggestion that they are giving and how much manipulation that it is behind this suggestion. And then, of course, at the end, as we already talked about this victim mentality, and we see that a lot in the chats and on Facebook and YouTube, where the people are just so crying about themselves, being really victimizing themselves, but they don't realize that exactly in this victim mentality they become complete psychopath. And we have made a video about the psychopathic behavior, and maybe watch into it, but nobody's victim. Everybody is responsible for what is going on in his own life, and everybody can change it. This is the thing. So playing victim, if things are not really running well, we have learned that since child, and if nobody just made a fool out of us, we will do that even if we are older and have some conversation about Julian Assange last time on Facebook, and people are just so mad. And we say, yeah, but we made investigation. Yeah, I also make investigation. I'm a journalist, blah, 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 blah. And we just ask, yeah, but what you made as investigation? And finally, they made no investigation whatsoever, but could not admit that they get fooled. And then play the victim. Yeah, why you write so aggressive and so on. But we just confronted them with the fact. And then we come, of course, to if once the individual is manipulated, they have, of course, the possibility to make mass manipulation, as we have saw it in the last years, where they just can make people walk upside down, and they will do it. And also, one of the question is, what many people ask is, yeah, but you can't manipulate so much people to believe in a lie. Yeah, I mean, of course, we saw it the last years that definitely it is possible. But where does this come from? Or like with the moon landing, yeah, what happened really there? So if you look really closer, they only have TVs here. Yeah, they have not a keyboard where they can type something in it. All these buttons are completely fake. And once the moon landing is really going on, watch these guys. They're doing nothing. Nobody's doing nothing. They all watch the big screen. Some listen to the conversation. And that's it. So how many people you really think you need to manipulate? You just have to say, you have to do this, you have to do that. You pay a couple of actors, and the stuff is going on. Because even what they said, this was the control tower to bring the rocket up into the atmosphere. But once it was in the atmosphere, it was another control room who took over. So again, manipulate masses is not that difficult here. Because once the rocket is gone, it just make a curve and go somewhere into the water. They never go straight up. So once they are out of sight, yeah, you can see them animated on a TV screen. And this is all what they always do, and just put a live logo on it, and people just think it. Like on the moon landing, people just still think today they have seen it live on the TV when they just hear it on the radio. So the mass manipulation is not that complicated, and less people know, and bigger the lie is. For what any kind of purpose, what they are saying to these actors to play their act, this doesn't matter. Yeah, and this is the same for the atomic bomb. Yeah, they took all the specialists from the whole world in atomic and so on, and they built not one but 2 atomic bombs, and they told each team that they didn't. That one of the 2 is the real one and one of the 2 is the fake one. Yeah. So finally they blow it up, but nobody knew if he worked on the real one or on the fake one. So both worked on the fake one, but everyone believed that they are now the specialists and that they participate. They saw the bomb going on. They worked months and months to build that. And so they are 100% today. that this is what they did, and they participate. One of the two bombs was a real atomic bomb. That's the lie. And there was none. Just a huge explosion. And that's the same what they are doing in all the nuclear plants. Of course, we would not go close to a thing in fusion. But again, around, they just put stuff around the center that people who went in, they get intoxicated. We have told that about other videos. So manipulate is what people think, what people think they are, and what they really are. Let's see. That's one of the, where a lot of the manipulation is going on. Then we have the school, we have the politician, we have the scientifics, we have the trust me, I'm a professional, or the professionals. And this is where the whole trust manipulation is going on, where the people just start to blind trust without verifying the things. So this is what happened between birds and becoming grown up. The blind trust about the whole emotions and reward and punishment, and so on, the rewards to make competition, to increase the others, to be the first on the top. And so you have all this same carrot and stick mentality that is going through, to always make things for the reward and not for the sense and logic of the things. So people get grown up, become again teachers, politicians, parents, scientifics, and so on. And we have to trust them. And there is the whole thing that where finally you trust even a policeman, because you trust authority, right? You trust what you get told, and you believe that he is there to run your stuff for your health and so on. This is always the same thing. And this starts also what we have said about the children who paint and the interaction with the parents. The evaluation of good and bad, or to ask what it is killing the inspiration and the creativity. We condition them to perform something, or if we ask them what it is, we tell them to copy something instead to be creative. And of course, again, all with the good intention to have interaction with your child and so on. But again, the result is conditioning. We can inspire creativity, and if we want to have an interaction, we just can tell them, did you have a good moment by making it? That's the thing, but not evaluating, not try to do, of course, if you can see like here, again, no suggestion whatsoever. But again, we would like to have trust in one another, help out each other, and inspire, imitate, look what the people are doing, how they are doing things, looking for ourselves, how things can be done. And the question is the result. What is the result? If the result of our child, or if our child does things that we don't agree, it's because they look it from us. If they talk rubbish, it's because we talked rubbish. And so the thing to change things have to start with ourselves, how we interact and so on. But the trust is definitely something that is, if the trust is broken, it is very hard to trust again. If the mistrust is not fixed, yeah, or healed, and so on, the manipulation will just go on, and until someone say it is just finished. And therefore, when the trust is broken, people become anxious, paranoid, having trust issue to even trust anyone, and to get blamed further on by society, by the job, the boss, or get mobbed by in the school, or be around fake people. That doesn't help to really have a kind of idea what is really going on, and so on. They always try to push to devilize one party, that the people just run in the other party, and we can see that with how it works in the society, not only in the religion. Then you can put in France, it is always the same thing, or you change the face, or you change. Now they are just putting the face again in another thing. But vote is the consent to shut up. There are still many, even amongst the so-called opposition, who promote voting. No matter for who you vote, you always vote for the system, the government, the corruption, and the financial, military, religious power structure. By vote, you give up your voice, and therefore what you say does no longer matter. You have given up and want others to take care for your affairs. This is what the vote really means, and people should start to realize what is really going on. So maybe to just resume a little bit, everything that is man-made is manipulated. Man, money, hand. The question is what condition the end result will be. Instead of original or manipulation, we can look at it as conditioned or unconditional. It's only the unconsciousness that can be manipulated and conditioned, not the consciousness or the subconsciousness. Only we can manipulate the consciousness and the subconsciousness by our own unconsciousness. But others, they always have to manipulate the unconsciousness. That's why it's important to become aware of the unconsciousness to heal and then avoid it. If there is more life and the possibility for life to become original again, there is no harm done. Only with a conscious, responsible living intention, we will be able to interact in life without destroying it. Intentions alone does not justify anything, only the result, the end result counts. Is it conditioned and unconscious? Then it is conditioning manipulation. With ego selfishly masturbating driven intentions, it will never get back to the original life because it is burned out, it is gone. If we want to stop being manipulated and manipulate, we will have to take a closer look what manipulation really is, as said in the beginning. And that's the same with what we provide others, children, friends, and anyone. We just can live it and inspire others. All while questioning ourselves in any moment if our own thoughts, feelings, words, or actions are conditioned or original. Manipulated people will manipulate because they are not aware that they're manipulated. It is up to us to stop the manipulators and remember who we really are. Who and what is the original true man, woman and child? This is up to us to remember. Thanks for watching.